Thank you, Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is a special honor, and I am so grateful to be inducted with this special and deserving group of people. I share this award with my family. As I was on the road around the world so much, my wife Geraldine had to be both mother and father to the three girls. Geraldine is here tonight, sitting over in front of Ferguson Jenkins. She's with two daughters right now, Jennifer and Courtney. Amy, who is expecting in just days from now, was not feeling well, so she is out resting somewhere in here. But Geraldine, the grandchildren, 5 of them are home watching. Number 6 about to appear. They're partners. I love you all. I love you, Geraldine, and I say thank you. I appreciate it. I thank Sharon Posen, Dave Hodge, Dave Perkins, Tom Harrington, and people on different platforms for this nomination. When I was 10 years old, my family moved from rural British Columbia, the big town of Invermere, to New Haven, Connecticut, as my dad was attending Yale University. Being near New York City for the first time in my life, we didn't have TV or radio in Invermere then. I was listening to sports on radio and watching it on television from New York City. I was hooked immediately and knew this would be my career. My first full-time job was many years later. The late Dick Smythe hired me to be a newsman, not a sportscaster, at Giant Chum Radio here in Toronto. Still, no matter what story I covered, Queen's Park, City Hall, I came back with a sports angle. One day, going to cover City Hall, Smythe said in front of the whole radio station, "Williams, you come back with a sports angle, and I'm going to break your blankety neck." I will tell you, I came back with a news story, but I am grateful for Dick. He sent me to Moscow to report on the 72 Summit Series, and it was my first major sports story. And I know the Big M and Marie are here tonight, as well as Eleanor and Paul, so it was a very special time for me. For 35 years, I also worked on a nationally syndicated radio show, Don Cherry's Grapevine. Special thanks to Don and our producer, Pryor Smith, who put it all together and certainly made it work. At CFRB in Toronto, I worked with Dave Hodge for Bill Stevenson, and I'll tell you something, Dave Hodge and later Dave Perkins, who's here tonight from the Toronto Star, would teach me the importance of journalism and being a journalist and not a cheerleader. In television, at both CBC Local and CBC National, I was fortunate to work for the great Yvonne Fetsan, a great television mind, and the excellent director, Rick Brace. At TSN, Yvonne was again in charge, and Rick was now in senior management with Stuart Johnston and Phil King, who are here tonight. I so appreciate the people from both TSN and CBC here this evening. When hosting the Olympics, I worked closely in the studios at CBC. I worked with Dave Toms, and Paul Harrington's here tonight. I worked with Paul at CTV. Great research, wonderful advice, true professionals. I am grateful to the late Denny Harvey, who was the editor at the Star in Toronto, the Montreal Star, ran CBC, for assigning me to host my first Olympics, and to Trevor Pilling, Doug Sellers, Terry Ludwig, Joel Darling, Mike Brannigan, who's producing here tonight, the King of Television, Rick Chisholm, and Gord Cutler. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I salute Canada's Sports Hall of Fame for recognizing, they recognize all organizations, the diversity of sports teams, but they are respecting and recognizing the diversity of the men and the women that have competed and represented us all with the dignity and class, not only here at home, but around the world. The amazing group of men and women honored here tonight are proof of that, and believe me, I am honored and so grateful to be part of you all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.